What ends up online is there forever. We want to talk about how to protect your kids about what they should and should not post. But teaching your kids to be safe online is only half the job. We're going to touch on what parents should do and shouldn't do too. Well, let's welcome back Beverly Hutchinson, Executive Director at D. Norton Child Advocacy Center. Great to have you back.
Nice to be back.
Such an important topic. And again, it's not just what kids are putting online, it's what the parents are putting online too. But let's first start with kids. A lot of kids, they have their own handles and profiles and all of that. So what have you seen as problematic for children these days?
You know, I think it's problematic when children and their parents haven't talked about the rules. Before you ever introduce that phone, that device to your child, you should have already laid the groundwork for your family's rules, your family values, what your expectations are, and understand they're probably going to make some bad choices, and use those bad choices as an opportunity to help them learn more about how to keep themselves safe, and also explain to them why you have rules around digital safety, why those rules exist, and what happens when they're broken.
Yeah, you know, I will say this summer the trend was wearing some very short denim shorts. I don't know if you saw it walking up and down the street, but I'm sorry, but young ladies, way too young to be wearing such revealing clothes, is just a bit much. But we're starting to see those kind of pictures, very provocative pictures showing up on social media. So not only is it the identifiable information, which I want to get to, but it's just the presentation, what you're showing to the world, that you need to be careful, and parents have to be tuned into that because it attracts the wrong eyeballs.
Right, and it's a continuance of that conversation, right? Before your 11-year-old gets a phone, you have a conversation, but that conversation continues. And as children develop, you want to make sure that they're aware of not just what they want to put out there, but how it might look, and how it might look to people that you don't intend to be in contact with.
Right, exactly, because there's those direct messages and any number of ways to get your attention and to start a conversation, which we never want that to happen with the wrong people. But let's talk about some of that identifiable information. So your name, for instance, how do you protect a child from putting their name out there, or
I think
messages from friends saying, oh, hey, so-and-so, great to see you, you look great.
You start with only following people you know. We talk about a lot of times your social circle of friends, whether it's online or in person. So you wouldn't hang out with people you didn't know in person. So you don't need to be hanging out with people online that you don't know. So talking about that and only making sure that your child is, that in their social media world, their friends, their followers, are people they actually know.
Don't let the other ones in, just as tempting as it is to increase your numbers, because that's what it's all about. It's all about getting the likes. It's all about getting the followers. You have to resist the urge to let people in who shouldn't be in. Identifiable information, name, and so forth.
So especially, you know, I now have grandchildren and love to post those pictures. So this has actually become a topic for me to be concerned about. And right now, all the kids are going back to school, and we love posting those first day pictures. I love seeing them. But make sure as you're posting them, what we would tell parents and any adult who's posting a picture of a child is think about how much identifiable information you are putting out there. Not just in your comment, but what does the picture tell you? Does the picture have the school name on their shirt that's visible? Maybe you don't want, maybe you want to blur that out, or maybe you want to wait until after school till they're in play clothes. Maybe you don't post till the day after they start school. You know, a delay, so that, you know, what we don't want to happen is for the wrong person to be able to identify who your child is by name and where they are. That puts them at risk. So the ways we can do that is don't put all of that information in a post. Don't put all the, you know, enough identifiable. You know, maybe the school name by itself is not a high risk, but if you do that and their first name in the comment, that's 2 pieces of identifiable information. That's probably too much.
Too much, and not to post in real time, like you say, waiting. I don't know that this was necessarily tied to social media, but years ago there was a situation where parents had just had a baby, this infant that already had maxed out credit cards and bankruptcy attached to their name, which is just, it's crazy, but it doesn't doesn't matter. You don't have to necessarily put the name, birth date, social security number right there on a post, but people can put puzzle pieces together and figure it out, and they will go to any lengths to try to steal someone's identities.
And it's reminding, just like we know, adults know that as you post, you create a digital footprint.
Yeah.
Your child is creating their own digital footprint with their posts, and we're actually adding to that, even if the child doesn't have a social media account. By posting and reposting pictures of children, you're creating a digital footprint. Now, granted, the risk may be small, but there's something to be aware of, and doing some of these safety practices will certainly help protect them.
100%. With 7 billion people on this planet, you never want to be the one.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Thank you so much, Beverly. Always
Absolutely.
good to have you.
Thank you.
We're back after this.